Welcome, Angry Faithful. Yeah, this is a weekend of what the hell. Bill's back from vacation.
Hey,
Yes, last week I had to do it solo because I couldn't find anybody to help me out with it. But I digress and we move on. The show goes on no matter what. Hopefully.
4th of July fireworks. Woohoo!
Yeah. I got ant bites and we'll talk about what else happened this week that weekend too, since we have full thing, since we didn't do a special report, which we should have done again.
Something
But
happened?
oh yeah, something happened. A couple of things happened. One, Elon Musk announces the American Party.
Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to play out. Hopefully it doesn't play out like it did like in the 90s with what was his name? I keep on
Yeah,
forgetting.
we don't want to be parodied.
Yes. What happened back in the 90s was Bush Sr. and Bill Clinton and Ross Perot being the independent party, tried to get votes, and we ended up with Bill Clinton, which we ended up having, well, most of the stuff that's hazardous today. Of course, we had it through a lot of other stuff too. But yeah, in the Elon Musk stuff that I found out, it's no lobbying, no they're not he's supporting it himself. He's putting up his money so that you don't have to make donations. All kinds of stuff that I guess he feels that it's ruining the American government system right now. So, my thoughts right now, I think it would be actually a good planning. And hear me out on this. It's kind of weird. Right now, we already know that the Democratic Party is bankrupt. Nobody wants to vote for that type of party anymore. And we're learning this out throughout this year. What are your thoughts, Bill?
On his party.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's I don't think it's gonna go so far. What is the reason?
The reasoning is the big beautiful bill, which we went over like 2 weeks ago. That was what a lot of people are speculating.
And why does he not like it?
Uh,
Because he thinks the budget surplus, there's going to be a budget. The debt is going to blow out of proportion.
it's already has.
Well, yeah, but he thinks the spending is going to go out of control. But
Which
why?
it usually has.
But what they just announced is, for the first time. No, I don't have the first time since, but it's been a few years. We actually had a surplus in June.
Of cash flow.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Of over 27 billion, following a $316 billion deficit in May. And
that was due to the 122 billion in tariffs, right?
yeah, it was due to the tariffs. Now, what people say is, oh, tariffs, it's a tax on the American people. Stop saying it's a tax on the American people, because he's strategically working the tariffs.
Yeah.
So what's going on when a country gets tariffs put on it? What they're doing is he's working on the world. He's working on multiple countries at the same time. So what happens when you got this country trying to sell this product and this country trying to sell this product? They're competing. So you get hold one sec. Singapore, what they're doing is, we have the tariff on Singapore, so the country itself is giving businesses grants to make up for the cost of the tariffs. They're not passing them on to Americans. They're eating most of the tariffs. The country is eating it. The businesses are eating it. They have to because they're competing against other countries for our business.
Okay, that makes sense.
So when Canada comes out and says, "Oh, Trump put this big tariff on copper now, and we're gonna get him," yeah, just try. We got the rare earths. Where is he getting rare earths? Everywhere. Everywhere. He's making deals everywhere. His latest one was in South America or Africa, where he had his latest peace deal with Congo, where several South African countries said, "We're nominating you for the Nobel Peace Prize." That's going to cause liberals' heads to explode big time.
Well, Israel did. Hold on, Bill. Israel did the same thing. They actually made it part of their negotiating stuff that they handed us. Like, this is the letter we're sending to for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah. Did you see the meeting with the? Yeah, I think 5, and they handed it to him too.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So, what was one of the deals? Rare earth minerals down there. So he's got deals with rare earth minerals all over the place. So when Canada says, we're going to screw you with the rare earth minerals, he's like, yeah, fine, I'll get them from over here. That's what he is setting up.
Yeah.
So he's getting the tariff revenue from them, and they're not raising the price and passing it on to the American people.
Right now, this is just recently. I know Alberta is still doing and Salvador are exploring the possibility of becoming the 51st state in the United States. They're still. It's basically is it a governor of Alberta or
Danielle Smith, the premier of Alberta.
But
now they've got they're finally possibly got a deal for a pipeline. If they get a pipeline, I still don't buy it, but Carney has almost turned conservative.
I don't think he's turning conservative. I think he's just looking for the fact that they need Alberta to fuel the rest of the country.
What's funny is the latest thing is he's talking about they're going to lay off tens of thousands of people, I think. And Carney came out with that. And the liberal Canadian news is excusing it. Like, oh, okay, he's got to, whereas against the conservative Poilievre, all through the campaign, they're like, he's going to cut jobs. He's going to kill people's jobs. Well, he was talking about through attrition, retirement, all that they weren't going to fill positions. Now, Carney is saying, we're going to cut jobs. And it's funny watching the liberal Canadian media run around making excuses on how that's a good thing. It's hilarious. Now, I worry if she gets the pipeline, because Trump is trying to get a pipeline too through Alaska, and it's going to run. It's going to liquid natural gas. It's going to run parallel to the current oil pipeline. They finally last week or week before got an investor for it. So it looks like it's going to start. Back in January, they were saying, "Oh no, you're not going to find anyone to buy into that." But we need to get it built first, and we need to get contracts with some Asian nations and beat Canada to it.
Which Asian countries, Bill?
All of them. No, there's several that we're working with, but we want to beat them to the punch. I haven't seen anyone else specifically say we need to beat them to the punch, but that's what I say. We need to beat them. And I'm still not convinced that it's going to even happen.
Yeah, there's still votings in Alberta to figure out if that's what the people of Alberta wants.
Oh, what?
So the succession.
Yeah, no, that's over for now.
Is it?
Yeah. That kind of the party, I think I mentioned it last week, the party that is for that, they didn't do so hot. They had what was they call it? It's kind of mid-election. I'll have to look for it. They had elections in Alberta a few weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that wasn't their main election for, that Carney got elected, but Alberta had their own elections, and basically the party that would be the Separatist Party, they did some mistakes. They chose the wrong colors. They chose red for some reason, and in Canada, red is the Liberals. So some people who voted, they mistakenly looked and didn't know what they were voting for. They didn't represent themselves well.
Now, another thing that's been happening,
by-elections.
By-elections.
That's what they're called, by-elections, by-elections. That's a kind of off election that isn't the main. That's what they held in Alberta. It was Alberta only.
Oh, okay. Now, another thing that's happening right now is Representative Anna Pauline Luna threatens to have the CCP linked billionaire Neville Singham assets frozen after he refused to appear before Congress regarding funding the LA riots. If he decides to hide in China, we will now be asking the State Department and Treasury to freeze his assets and visa. So,
China. What is going on in Australia?
Well, why do you go from China to Australia? What the hell, Bill?
Because Albanese is about to meet with China, and
how okay,
and he's been like 6 days over there, and he still hasn't met with Trump. So now you got Australia cozying up to China. What's up with that?
Okay.
Did I bounce too far?
Yes, you bounced too far, Bill. Okay. What we're going over right now. Right? Stop yourself, Bill. Okay. Now, Neville Singham is being linked to the riots in LA.
Right.
After the so this seizure and everything, it's if this happens, I mean there's a lot of stuff that's that was happening. The LA riots just finally just poof disappeared after they found out that the FBI, IRS, and we went over this a couple of weeks ago, and the California Attorney General all combined their intelligence. Hey, we're finding out people are funding this thing, and this is one of the big names of that. So
Yeah, the gas mask, the riot gear. That's how they tracked him about 2 weeks after it happened. He's the one who funded that.
yes, we know that. So if he actually tries to hide in China, freezing all of his assets here in the United States and destroying his visa to get into the United States, how horrible would that be?
How much does he have that can be frozen that's actually in the United States in U.S. banks?
And that is true. I mean,
I would think probably not much. So I don't think they're going to get much. And they've got all the organizations of NGOs that he can funnel the money back in. I mean, like the Bill Kings had 94 NGOs at least behind them, and he'll just funnel it in through someone else.
yeah, but well, if he does it before him, but moving that much cash really fast, I mean, it can be done. So I don't.
It can easily be done.
Yeah, it can be easily be done, especially with if you pay. It's one of those things. It's uh, you pay a man enough, he'll walk barefoot through hell. I learned that from Gargoyles. I love that cartoon. But yeah,
Never seen it.
that's because you're a loser, Bill. But anyways, going with that, how many people do you think? I mean, we had speculation of Walmart, uh, one of the Waltons funding it too. Of course, they came up and was like, "I have nothing to do with this." Blah 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 blah. We're American. I mean, they eventually got rid of their DEI stuff. They're like getting rid of a lot of their stuff to show that they're not part of the new regime. They're part. They are not part of the old regime, and they're part of the new regime. So now, Bill, what were you talking about now about Australia?
Oh, the premier of Australia, he's like backing. Well, he's got their. He's really separating from America, and he's turning to China. And I'm drawing a blank, but he is. He's turning to China. He hasn't met with the ambassador to. He didn't come to the inauguration.
Yeah,
That ticked off Trump. And then he's got this Rudd that is the ambassador to America that over the years has just slammed Trump. Until that guy's gone, Trump is going to give him the middle finger. He's not going to give him any trade deals, any concessions to it. Well, he doesn't give concessions anyway. He's going to continually screw them over as much as he can. He's not going to give him any slack.
I mean the newest thing is Brazil.
Oh, you talking about BRICS?
Well, what he's doing is anything in BRICS. Yes, anything in BRICS, and BRICS is oh god, British, Russia, Brazil, Russia, India, China. What's the other one?
Well, right now, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, and there's some others that have joined, and some others that are which is it Qatar or United Arab Emirates?
Yeah. Well, they're trying to. They've been doing this since what 2005.
No, BRICS started in 16 years ago, 2009.
Okay. They try to do this, and they're still trying to do this in 2000 since 2009. I get the dates wrong, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to make those economies the dollar and the main one instead of the United States. And that's what Trump is trying to do. And with all those countries that are in there, he's trying to get rid of that.
But who's the main countries? Who's the big dogs in that?
China, Russia.
Okay, China and Russia. So what just happened? So and also Iran.
Yeah.
Not I walked, Iran.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that.
Yeah. Anyway, you got them in there. So in the BRICS meeting, they denounced America and Israel for what they did to Iran. But you've got Ukraine and Russia's big in. So is that going to stay together? You watch the liberal news and they're like, yeah, they're going to stick it to the Americans. And you watch regular news or conservative leaning and they're like, that thing's going to fall apart. It can't hold together because how do you do that? How do you knock the U.S. and Israel for Iran, but give Russia a pass for Ukraine? It didn't work very well. They just kind of glossed over the Russia thing.
Yeah. It's not real anyways. They're just play fighting anyways. Just like in India and China. And how they India and China. Have you never heard of the border between India and China, what they're doing there?
No.
They're not okay.
I don't know. I watch a lot.
Okay, what's happening in India and in China, the border, is they're fighting. Okay, it's technically a war, but they're not allowed to use any kind of modern weaponry. They're beating the shit out of each other, though. They use baseball bats. Heard once they were using a sword, and there's lots of fighting that happens on that border, but they're not allowed to shoot each other. It's part of their little treaty and stuff. It is so hilarious. But I digress. That was just my little bit of tidbit of knowledge that I've learned throughout the years. So what if everything goes well and they totally destroy BRICS, which hopefully they can, because screw everybody else.
Yeah,
America first.
Yeah, they're not gonna totally destroy BRICS.
No.
They're trying to. I mean, this thing with Albanese and trying to cozy up to China. We're still trying to box China in, and he's got his tariffs he sent around, and he's got his 10% minimum. That 10% minimum, but someone got a waiver on that and is paying 0.
Which one?
Vietnam.
Oh yeah.
Now,
I was
why?
about to say that.
His whole point, what he's been doing, box in China. He's, like I said, he's working with multiple countries at the same time, trying to give some of them a deal to prompt us to get the product from that country. So with this 90-day pause, Vietnam's factories are just cranking because during his 90-day pause, companies moved their production out of China to Vietnam. So now he's keeping the prices down, getting the products. They're just coming from a different place. And that's what he's doing to draw more business to Vietnam. He completely got rid of the tariffs on it.
So Another thing that happened over this weekend, and this is the later part of the show, and hopefully someone will watch it. But anyways,
Isn't it?
uh, oh, we'll get into this real quick, before we get into the main event. Uh, close that out too.
Well, for the
This is
250th, speaking of main event, they're going to have the fights on the lawn of the White House.
I know. I'm taking that day off so I can watch it. I don't care what's happening, but I'm taking that day off so I can watch those fight. I don't know where I'm going to be, but I know I'm going to be watching it. Uh here's another one. Here's another thing, and I'm sorry we're not doing the uh where I found it and everything. I apologize for that. I have to use a different stuff to get my stuff to work, so I get the information out to you.
And
But
I'm doing upgrades too, so we're a little.
we're trying to be we're trying to get that amateur professionalism down pat.
One of the
But
main influencers said that Grok is now 2 to 3 of his employees, and that
yeah,
Beezy tweets. He said a little bit ago that it's at least one employee at his Grok has replaced.
I bet. But this is happening in San Antonio. Uh, a McDonald's in San Antonio. I don't know which one. But they're putting glass in the burgers because of ICE deportations and Israel-Iran war. And they're basically trying to do it because it's next to a military base. I don't know which one. Let me find that out real quick. That's actually probably a good idea. But what are you that's another thing, and I'll speak a little bit on this, what I think about it. I think it's horrible that you're hurting people. It doesn't matter, uh, in 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 a silly fashion because you want to be uh you want to be right. There has been past fuck you.
Oh, wordy dird.
Okay, this
We tried to be a child relatable show.
sure we do. A National Guard member who was served broken glass in a burger this morning. Oh, this happened in DFW, so it's happening a lot. Okay. This came in. Please make sure our service members are informed more diligently right now. Four servicemen in C. Goville, Texas, had broken glass shards in their burgers. Additional information: both service members were in the drive-through lane when the manager instructed them to wait in the parking lot area. An employee later accompanied them and informed the service members that they needed to come inside to pick their food up. This raised suspicions, prompting them to inspect their food, where they discovered shards of glass in four of the burgers. And the police report was generated after information the S3 First Sergeant Lopez instructed all command terms that the McDonald's in question is blocklisted until further notice. Yeah, which is very lit. And when you get blacklisted from a Air Force base, Army base, Marine base. I don't know if there's a Space Force base or Navy base. Yeah, it's horrible for your business because usually in those towns, the military's good portion of good percentage of their business. Uh, Several times, a lot of the gentlemen establishments have been blacklisted for a long period of time, especially bars. And bars have been blacklisted also. And then after a while, they don't show up. The the amount of money that they lose is horrible. I've talked to some of the uh, owners of those establishments, and they said it's like every time we get blacklisted, I can almost guarantee you that we lose probably around about $20,000 a weekend. So yeah, being blacklisted sucks, especially if you're around a military base. But yeah, the there's no rhyme and reason for this kind of stupidity. And a lot of people that a lot of if you're owning because all McDonald's, you're still owned by the franchise, the main headquarters of a McDonald's. You're barely even. You have to have quality. You have to have all these standards. And I don't think that McDonald's is going to stay open with that owner's franchise. They're probably going to get kicked out because they can't control their staff.
Yeah, the bigger percentage of McDonald's stores are actually corporate owned and not franchised.
Yeah. But, and last but not least, what happened last weekend that we should be talking about, Bill, that happened in Texas? Was there any kind of special thing that happened?
There was a weather event.
Oh, yeah. After we found out everything, because, Angry Meat Productions likes to be on point with our stuff and not like everybody else. What caused this mess? Speculation. Another thing was
Trump caused
climate.
it.
Yeah, Trump caused it. Greg Abbott caused it. Another speculation was climate change, which doesn't really exist. Those, I mean, climate change exists to a point, but not to the extent. This is what happened, and this is just okay. If you look at it as scientific terms on it, it is really weird. It is an event. I mean, it's hard for those people, but it was an event that was basically it. I've never heard of this. What had happened was the cause of pretty much a tornado, but it acted like a hurricane. And what had happened was two fronts came together at that point in time and like stalled the vortex in that location. I think it was like 20 seconds, or I don't know the time frame fully, but it froze it into that area, and that's why it caused close to like 40 stories of rain in one location. It was, and scientifically, that was just amazing. I mean, it's unheard of. Except if you look back, that event actually happened like in 1939. The event that bad. A lot of people are thinking of like 1986. They had it the worst, but in all reality, that kind of event that was that powerful didn't happen until like 1939. So, but there's a lot of things that's happened in between there. A lot of liberals are going, I mean, full on liberals. Two people have been fired. One doctor in Houston, which she's probably going to lose her license to practice. And another one who, after she got fired from her job, let me pull this up real quick in my little area. Turn up the volume. See if I can get. Okay, there we go. Shade Perkinson. If you want to look this up, you can. But she's got a give send go, basically a GoFundMe. She's asking for $20,000 because she was fired from a job because she was saying, "Hey, the little girls died because of Trump, because this is MAGA's fault." Which, after those people said that disgusting stuff, yeah, even liberals were like, "This is disgusting." The people, the little girls that died in that event, in the flooding, and the families that ended up dying also, and there's a lot of families that died during that flood. They deserve better than that. And there's listings of stuff like I can't really use the LA fires because there's people still out there on the right that said, this is horrible, or they deserve this, which they no one deserves to get the lasting sleepy by. I can't believe there's words I can't say on here because of this. But
what was that?
I can't believe I have to roll around like I have to say like they took the forever sleepy nap. But anyways,
Yeah. It's like they use poo poos and boom booms, pew pews and boom booms.
Yeah. Anyways, back on track. It's ridiculous that this happened to those people of was it Clean County?
Well,
K-E-E? How do you pronounce it? Because I'm horrible at pronouncing stuff.
I can't remember, but there's also it's also sad that the Democratic Party has created such an issue with racism that a lot of them are saying, well, it mainly white girls. And after spending a lot of time on Facebook a few days ago, I wrote, now I can't read this to you exactly what I wrote. I have one thing to say to the people blaming Doge and Trump for the tragic flooding. Burn in hell, you sick MFers. You're disgusting. That was my Facebook post. They say, oh, there was all these delays. The one of the first things that came out was the state senator who is over that area. He put out a post when Trump learned of the Guadalupe River flooding disaster. His response was, anything you need, just ask. We asked for Black Hawk helicopters and military equipment for search and rescue. Within an hour, they were flying over the river, rescuing and leading the way. I voted for this.
Yeah,
that was the state senator who's actually over that area, and not all the ignorant sick liberals who are it's Trump, it's Doge.
Kerr County. It's Kerr County.
It was a holiday, but even though it was a holiday, they had people. They brought in extra people. And they had 5, and then they brought in. They did have 2 scheduled.
Yeah, they overdid it really, and they were promptly informed. Everybody was going through it, and it was just a freak. Mother Nature dominating the world, honestly.
Yeah, and then Trump goes down there today, and what happens? If Trump doesn't go down there, he's heartless. If he goes down there, it's a photo op, and he's just getting in the way. He can't win with these sorry ass liberals. He can't win. It's one way or the other. But the good thing about this Trump, he doesn't care what they say. He's
Exactly.
just plowing on. He's just doing it. And it was a good talk today on what they may or may not do. And they were saying, well, Trump is a builder, so he should have some ideas. And they don't have an early warning system. It's difficult to create one, but I think that's the way they're going to go is
Well, the system.
sirens possibly.
Well, the power went out. I mean, it was just it was
Fast.
events. It was fast. Two, it was events that just. I mean, the power went out. The uh cell service went out. It was just events upon events to actually have this happen. It was it, not to make this as a
And
pun. It was a perfect storm of events that actually caused this travesty.
and you've got well, why didn't they do warnings? Well, they did do warnings, but little warnings that cried wolf. How many times do we hear we have tornado watches entered so much? Even though I try to convince my wife I can program the weather alert, it's not like 20 years ago. I can program it to where it only goes off for a warning. Well, in the past, when you had weather alerts that you couldn't program, there was like a several county area and everything set that thing off.
Mhm.
My wife won't even let me set up a weather alert. It'll wake me up. So a lot of, people get these warnings, they hear them all the time. Even when I hear a tornado warning, I'm like, oh, there's a tornado warning. Let's see where it is in the county. So people aren't gonna, oh my gosh, there's a flood. Can you imagine if people packed up and left here in North Texas and Southern Oklahoma every time they went, oh, there's a flood warning?
Well,
Yeah, you just keep your car loaded
I have a
and filled with
upstairs.
gas.
I have a upstairs neighbor. They keep on banging on my door whenever there's supposed to be a severe weather. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. I was like, well, can we stay with you and our cats? I was like, I'm allergic to cats, but yes, you can stay here with your cats because they're upstairs and I'm downstairs. Which weather doesn't care if it's upstairs and downstairs. If you're gonna die, you're gonna die. Uh, oops, I said bad words. Uh,
The
but
D word.
yes, I said the D word. I know I'm a horrible human being on YouTube. But one one last thing that happened that through these events was a fire chief in Austin who's probably going to get fired. One, he was DEI hire, and the events of what happened was he he was completely and utterly ignorant. And he was the epitome of being a DEI hire. They were supposed to allocate resources to that county, and the guy didn't do it. You know why? Just guess, Bill. Take a guess, Bill.
I'm trying to pull it out of my memory because I actually heard this. The guess is not coming.
Okay. Just out of the blue, take a guess. Just out of the blue, why would you think that he wouldn't help them out?
Probably a race thing.
No, no, no. God, Bill. It wasn't a race thing.
It's just I read so many Facebook
No,
posts.
It wasn't even a race thing.
I mean, of the whole event that
Yeah.
went into that.
No, it wasn't a race thing. It was because he didn't understand that the resources that he was shelling out from his county was going to come back and be replaced. Because the resources they were going to give out, they were going to give out fire trucks, they were going to give out supplies, utensils, tools, whatnot. But this fire chief didn't know. He was like, we can't do it because we can't afford it. And everybody was like, wait a minute, what? Yeah, we can't afford it. We can't afford to take that stuff out of Austin and put it over there. We're on a budget. The governor was like, what did you just say? And please make me understand completely. We can't afford it. We have a budget. That was the reason why, Bill. Even though they told him he was that ignorant as a fire chief. And a fire chief should know those things because it's part of their job description. But he didn't know these things because he was just hired because he was DEI. I'm not even gonna go what ethnicity he was, okay? Because I know people of that ethnicity that are 100 times smarter than that man. That's being said, when you hire somebody that's supposed to be over an entire division in a major city that can't comprehend basic politics, then you shouldn't put him in that situation ever. So he's getting fired. They already voted a no contest because they understand the plight of what they did and are like, oh, we're sorry for putting that person in that situation. Our bad. We're just gonna get rid of them. We're gonna shove them underneath the rug and whatever. All right. Last thing, Bill. What you got?
I got two things.
No, one thing. One thing. This is gonna have to be a short episode because I gotta go to bed.
Oh man.
And it better be like really quick. Like you got 3 minutes.
Okay, 200% tariff on prescription drugs.
Okay. Explain.
He's putting a 200% tariff on prescription drugs. Why?
Most of
We
the
need
drugs
to, we need to get prescription drugs more fair because right now America pays several times more than any other country in the world for prescription drugs. So they keep
Yeah.
they keep their nice little
Oh no, most of
they
the
keep
drugs.
their nice little universal healthcare, their healthcare. Well, part of the reason they could do that is because their drugs are cheap. So he wants to spread it around and get
Most of
them paying closer to what we pay or bring ours down to closer to their level. And
Well,
one thing interesting I heard today is now what he was trying to do his first term, and he almost did it. He was
Yeah.
working on it. If he had been elected, he was working on it at the beginning of January, is to get prescription drugs from Canada. Generics from Canada. Our FDA, we haven't approved it. We can't get it. And I have to look into this a little bit more. But a couple hours ago, I was watching a news program from Canada, and they said we can't get Canada generic drugs due to intellectual property rights.
Yeah.
Not sure what they mean by intellectual property.
Okay. The
Generics from Canada.
Okay, this is how it's weird. Back in 2020, when we had the incident happen, we can say the COVID incident. I know I said it.
Demonetized just like that.
Yeah. We were having problems getting a lot of supply in. One of the main things that we were having a problem getting supply in was baby food. Baby, specifically baby formula. What a lot of people were doing were bringing it from Canada because US wasn't making it. Okay. They were the supplies were offset and we couldn't get any. But Canada had a lot. Now, the FDA, because it ended up being into Biden, went to Biden's administration, and I think that it could have been in Trump's administration too, but Trump would have probably, hopefully, stopped babies from going hungry. It was due to labeling. They Canada doesn't have something on the label that America does. And that was the whole reason why Canada couldn't supply us with baby formula. That was it. It was stupid ridiculous. It was that stupid ridiculous. Which would probably have been like 100 times healthier from what I gather from other things.
And that's the FDA issue that regulates that.
Yeah.
That was the FDA part of it is FDA is bought out. So sometimes they direct product based on payback instead of based on what's good for the American people.
Yeah. Which, surprise, surprise, happens a lot more time frames than we look at. So that being said, we're gonna go ahead and end this. Hopefully next week. Next week we'll get into more into the Epstein stuff that's been happening. I want to gather as much information as I can because I've been tracking the Epstein stuff since it happened. Just more out of curiosity. Me and Johnny we've done 2 episodes on Epstein through Psychos and Sociopaths, and every new information we get, we keep on trying to inform you guys. But right now, it's getting really, really weird because apparently Epstein is fucking innocent now, and it. We're gonna have to look into it a little bit more on the information that we can to counteract certain things. And yes, hear it, especially me, on what the hell. I'm freaking stupid angry on what's
and
happening.
then I'll get into why I'm like, just move on.
I can understand that, but there's a lot of things that are we'll both have to collect notes. You can do yours and I can do mine, but I'm still. I think this administration should have done that. But
did we talk about William Shatner's weight issue last week?
No, because I did the 30-minute thing on the Big Beautiful Bill.
That's right.
So we didn't.
William Shatner put out a post saying that he thought everyone kept trying to make fun of his weight. Big Beautiful Bill. He actually put a post out on X about that. I thought everyone was making fun of my weight because they kept talking about Big Beautiful Bill.
And with that, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. I'm David Dickerman.
And I'm Wild William. And like, subscribe, wherever it is. One of these days, I'll figure out where the button is. Or we can have some button float across the screen. We should do that.
Maybe one of these days. But thank you very much, everybody, for listening to us for the moment that you could. Goodbye.
Later.